This podcast is brought to you by Salt River Pictures.
Hi, Lloyd. A little slow tonight, isn't it?
Hello there.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Stay on target.
Dylan! Son of a bitch.
Welcome to the Salt River Movie Club.
Hello, and welcome back to Salt River Pictures. So, no, I've got the name wrong. It's the Salt River Movie Club. Welcome back to the Salt River Movie Club. The podcast that... Thank you. The podcast that does not have access to its usual recording desk today, and so is brought to you hunched over my bookshelf like an animal.
Hold on, what?
you guys haven't seen this yet. I'll show you. I'm just like hunched over, like this is my bookshelf you're on right now.
We just got the ultimate crotch shot from Jake there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Spicy.
You're welcome.
I love it that you think animals in the wild hunch over bookshelves. I like it. That's what you think that happens in the wild.
How else do they record their podcasts? Yes, this is the Salt River Movie Club. This is episode 11 of the Salt River Movie Club. We are three members of the band Salt River Shakedown. We do blues rock, classic rock, that kind of thing. But this podcast is not about this band. This podcast is about movies we like, and sometimes movies that we not so like. This is also episode 2 of Oscar Yes, which, if you're unaware, is our quest to work our way through every Oscar Best Picture winner ever in reverse order. And, we are 2 months in, and this is the second one, so it's going well.
Jesus.
I was laughing there for a second, Jake, because like the way your like mic, like pop filter was like over your face, looked like a mustache.
Oh God.
Hello. God, that makes for good radio. That's good.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd include that.
Yes, this is a second episode of Oscar Quest, but we will get to that properly in a little bit. For now, I have to introduce my co-hosts. So first of all, we have a guy. We've all got the same headphones. I'm sorry, I'm just becoming aware of this. Are we all wearing the same?
We all have the same brand headphones.
Oh,
yes.
damn.
Pretty much, yeah. I was looking at what you guys are wearing. Like, I think Sean's are slightly different, but it's the same brand. Anyway, no one cares. Alec is over here. Guitarist extraordinaire, Alec McMillan.
One of the nicest watches I've ever seen in my life.
I was just going to say, I do like this watch as well.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Holy
it's very
shit.
large.
I'm looking fly today. It lights up as well.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Damn.
I couldn't see it, but I believe you.
That also makes for great podcasting.
We're recording this during the day. It glows in the dark. Look.
Alec McMillan, how are you, sir?
I am good. How are yourself?
How are myself?
How are yourself?
I are good.
I are good.
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah. I'm okay, other than being hunched over.
Hunched over a bookshelf.
Yeah.
Natural habitat.
I like it. And over here, we have the man in pink himself, who is now holding what appears to be a Xenomorph Funko Pop.
Smile for the camera.
Nice.
Who got you that one, Sean? Was it
That was you.
Yeah, I thought it was me. I got that.
Yeah, that was the 16-bit Xenomorph.
That is a class one, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favourites.
That's pretty cool. It is the master of bass himself, Sean Cullen. How are you, sir?
I am hungover to shit, so this might be this is going to be a very interesting episode.
Good. Let's watch a film about feelings. Let's go.
Oh dear.
Here we go.
Oh no.
I'm ready to be more miserable.
It's not that film. It's actually a very happy, uplifting film. But
Oh, it's an uplifting film. Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it's got sad moments, but yeah, it's mostly an uplifting film. Yes.
How was Jake? How was Jake?
How are you today?
I'm good. You've already asked me.
I know, but I'm just asking you that forcefully now. How are you?
Yeah, well, this is Jake. He's the sexiest podcast host in the world.
Oh, thank you.
Fight me.
Sir.
Don't at me.
No, I'm all right. I'm very sexy, apparently. And yeah, I'm good. It's good to be sexy.
Don't at me. I will not respond.
Don't at me. I know. Joe Rogan's like coming round to you now, just like I heard someone was talking shit.
Yeah, if Joe Rogan came for a fight, I would run. That guy's a beast, man.
It's fine. You're the sexiest podcast host. You can have it.
Although I think he's quite small, so he'd probably just like punch. I'd probably stand up and probably punch me in the crotch. Like he's just height level. I think he's big, but he's like tiny. I think.
Oh no, my kneecaps will take a shattering.
Your one hope is to step on him really quickly and then run away. Cool. Please sue us, Joe Rogan.
I'm sorry, Joe, but you can have second, okay? Anyway.
So if you're unaware, this podcast is a movie club. You're encouraged to watch along with the movie every week. We release them every 2 weeks, but we have some bonus episodes in between and things like that. But we watch one movie every 2 weeks. And you're encouraged to watch along. We let you know the movie that we're going to watch next at the end of the previous episode and on our social media and things like that. Yes, this week we're watching Green Book, so that'll be an interesting one. But we'll get into that properly in a little bit. Also, thank you if you've been listening so far. I think the last Oscar Quest episode, which was on Parasite, is one of our more successful ones in a while.
Yes!
So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So yes, let's start with our usual segment. What have we been watching? I feel like this needs I feel like this needs a theme tune, but what have you been watching?
Jake, you can go first. Fuck it.
Oh,
mix it up a bit.
What have I been watching? I can tell you what I've been watching because I've been keeping a list this year.
I can tell you what I'm watching right now.
What have I been watching since the last time? I've been watching a lot of like DC shit recently. I rewatched Batman vs Superman, which I maintain is not a bad film. Just has some terrible scenes.
Yeah, it's not a bad film, but you've got to pure like squint to see it because it's so dark. Like that.
Does anyone else wonder why we don't have any fans anymore?
No, I think there's some really good stuff in that film, but the Martha scene is dumb. Please, DC fanboys, please explain to me again why it's not dumb. Please, I would love to hear your hot takes on why that scene is not dumb. It's the fucking stupidest scene.
Yeah, it's like the only reason Batman doesn't pummel Superman's head in is because his mom is also called Martha.
Yeah, it's also just hearing Batman just go, "Why did you say that name?" it's so. Oh my god, it's so bad. Anyway,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, like at the time, I was hyped for Batfleck because it looked quite good, and then after it was just a disaster. Like,
yeah, I don't mind him in it. To be fair, like the warehouse fight scene is awesome, but yeah, it's.
See, the warehouse fight scene is great, but we saw it before the movie came out, so it was and so if that's the best bit, if that's the best bit in the movie, then that's quite sad. Do you know what I mean? Like the bit that they gave away like a year before the film came out. Like,
we have to market this.
Yeah, no, that's true. But no, I overall, I do actually really like that film. I'm glad I watched that again because I kind of reconciled with it a little bit. It's like, you know what? This is not that bad, you know? The same cannot be said for Suicide Squad, which I also watched this week. Oh my god.
Why did you put yourself through that?
You fucking paid money for that.
I did pay money for it. Not much money, only like £3, but yeah.
You still paid for it, you fucking dumbass.
So I'm watching all the movies and I was like, I can just skip Suicide Squad as shit, but I'd only seen about 30 minutes of it. I got to the scene where Joker is lying in a room full of knives and he's laughing and sulking about the fact that Harley Quinn is gone. And it just made me so angry that I turned off the film the first time I watched it because I was just like, this is so not what Joker would do. And then...
Oh, God.
And everything else after leading up to that was shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm watching all the movies. I'm a big fan of DC and I'm a fan of all of these characters. I should give it a proper shot and see if maybe it gets better after the first half an hour. Because the first half an hour is basically just introductions to characters endlessly.
Yeah.
It does not get better after the first half an hour. In fact, it maybe gets worse, to be honest.
I'm glad you came to that conclusion.
Yeah. There is one section in the middle where they're fighting some zombie things in a city. and it's just kind of mindless action. And I was like, you know what, I can kind of get on board with this. And then after that.
There's one scene that's okay. It's like 10 seconds when like Batman comes in with a bit of retro suit, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. When
It's literally about it's seconds long though.
You can tell there was a good movie in it until they just like hacked it up, and
the thing that gets me about that is the editing is like so jarring. It's like
so bad.
It's like holy shit. It's like
there's a point where like they go into that city and they're like they suddenly are like, okay, we're rescuing this person, and they're like, oh, I better be someone good after all this, and then the twist is that it's Amanda Waller, and I was sitting going like, they haven't said that they're rescuing somebody. Like, I'm convinced there's been a scene cut where they explain what they're doing. Like, it's, oh my god, it's a nightmare of a film. Anyway, yes, outside of DC things, what else have I been watching? I watched A Time to Kill, the Joel Schumacher film with Matthew McConaughey in a younger role and Samuel Jackson, and it's good. It's for a Joel Schumacher film. It's quite good. And
such a dick.
I mean, like, he's known for making some terrible movies, like the Phantom of the Opera movie and fucking Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Like, you know, he deserves that a little bit. And I also watched Road to Perdition, Sam Mendes film, Tom Hanks gangster film.
That's a good film. That's a very good film.
Really, really, really good. It's very, very good. Yes. And a few TV shows. I made a realization this week that I'm watching 8 TV shows at the moment.
Yeah, we discussed this. How the fuck can you watch 8 TV shows all at once?
I don't know.
I would get so confused.
To be fair, I get that. I kind of do that sometimes.
I can watch 2 at once.
Yeah,
you don't watch any TV shows.
Exactly. Which makes it worse.
Yeah, I'm watching 8 because the thing is, I watch different shows with different sets of people. So depending on who's in the house, I watch different things.
That's fair.
But so yeah, I'm watching Mandalorian, The Boys, Star Trek: The Animated Series, Boardwalk Empire, Arrow, The Walking Dead, Your Honor, and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What do you think of Your Honor so far?
It's good. It's not like blowing me away, but it is good. It's interesting, and just, you know, seeing Bryan Cranston do his thing is always fun.
Oh yes. That's one thing I've been watching this week.
Yeah. This
month.
Yeah. There was a scene where he was talking about burner phones and shit, and I was just like, Walter White, no.
God, we have to cook.
We have to cook. Yeah. So yes, that is what I've been watching. That went on for longer than I planned. Alec, what have you been watching?
Yes, so I finished my spell of The Office. Like the last time, last year when I just started watching the US Office, I stopped when Michael Scott left, and I was like,
fair,
and I kind of didn't watch it, and I went, you know what, I rewatched all of that, and then I went, you know what, I'll carry on and I'll watch what's his name, Ed Helm.
Yes,
do it, and it was enjoyable. It was good. It's obviously not the same as with Michael Scott. It's a kind of different kind of dynamic. Like, they kind of put more emphasis on the rest of the cast instead of just the boss. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's more emphasis, which I quite like, and it does round off nicely because Michael Scott comes back. I don't know if you've seen.
He does. Yeah.
He comes back for Dwight and Angela's wedding. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Then the next movie that I watched was, I attempted to watch, I say. So I go like this. I'm on Disney. I go, right, I'll watch The Good Dinosaur because I haven't seen it, right? Right, no. Stick it on. And it's have you any of you seen this movie?
No,
I've heard.
So
it's not great,
right. So it's literally, the concept is a family of. So basically, the concept is, it starts and the meteorite that hits Earth that's supposed to wipe out the dinosaurs just misses, right? And then it goes millions of years later, right? And it is Diplodocuses, like, on a farm, and they are farming, and they have southern accents.
What the fuck?
I'm not kidding. They've got southern accents, and they've got a farm, right? And it's like this wee dinosaur's the wee shy dinosaur, and his dad's like, "Hey son, come on, you got a farm. Go kill." He's like, "Go kill the the animal's in the back, and he's like sets a trap and all that, right? And basically, he goes like this: "Go kill the animal," and then like it's like a human that's the animal that they're trying to kill.
Right. Okay.
So it's that kind of dynamic, and then it kind of got to, and then I spent another 2 minutes. And then it was kind of setting it up that the dad was going to die, and I went, you know what, fuck this. And I just clicked this off. I was like, I'm turning this off because it's kind of shit, but I know I'll get emotionally invested in it because it's Pixar, and I'm not in the mood right now. Do you know what I mean? Like I could tell like 5 minutes before that the dad was going to die, and I was like, nope.
Not today.
No, but just Diplodocus ranching a farm with southern accents as a Disney Pixar concept. Like they're like
where
like they spray the crops with their mouth and all that, and they put the lines in their heads, and it's like, what are you doing, Pixar? This is not a good idea.
Yeah, I was aware that it was about like reversing like human and dinosaurs, so like humans are the animals and dinosaurs kind of run the earth. I wasn't aware that they had like human jobs and shit. Like,
that's weird.
Mental.
Dude. I don't know anything outside of that, but it's not good. I mean, and there's people, and I looked at the reviews, and it was, a lot of people say it's kind of a less good Pixar, but a lot of people love it, and it's like, I don't know. The animation doesn't even look up to Pixar standard either.
No.
For me, it doesn't. It's just not quite there. Anyway, after that, I rewatched a movie called Arrival. Have you seen that?
Oh no, I want to see that, but I'm not seeing it yet.
It's so good. So I've seen this twice.
Hold on.
So I've seen this twice now. So it's basically.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So it's Amy Adams.
Yes.
Yep. And she plays basically kind of like a linguist expert. And basically these 12 alien spaceships arrive on Earth just in different locations, and basically it's her job to kind of communicate with them, figure out their language and stuff. It's a brilliant film.
I
it's
brilliant on that one.
If you like Christopher Nolan films, I think you'll like this film because it's got
cool.
It's got a similar vibe with the kind of editing and stuff. It's got kind of trippy things going on.
Very dark vibe as well.
Totally.
Denis Villeneuve, isn't it? Like the Blade Runner 2 guy and the prisoners and shit.
It's very good.
You guys seen Prisoners, by the way?
No.
Oh, maybe watch that at some point. That's a brutal film, but it's brilliant.
The only other thing I've watched is Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I know. But yeah, Arrival's great. It's so good.
That is a good. I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, you'd like it.
Fucking killer movie.
The spaceships are just big rugby balls, basically. That's kind of the shape. But
it's so weird.
Nice.
It's weird looking.
Cool. Sean, what about you? What have you been watching?
I've been on a weird binge of like nostalgic films lately. Where's my list? There's my list. I watched 2 of Disney's most underrated movies, which is Treasure Planet and Atlantis. Back to back,
nice. Two of my favorites.
They are
I've not seen them since I was a kid.
Underrated. For my pick for some point in the future, my next pick is a good one. For one of my picks in the future, I was going to do Treasure Planet because it is absolutely my favorite Disney movie of all time, and it's just it's so pretty.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah. What else have I been watching? I watched. I've been in a very piratey mood. Right. I play a game every weekend, every Saturday with Dungeons and Dragons. I play every weekend, and
loser
nerd. Hold on, you've got a Star Wars collection. Shut up.
I know.
I know. One of the characters I have is a pirate, so I've been very into pirate things very recently, and I watched The Muppets Treasure Island, and oh my god, it is funnier every time I watch it. Every single time I watch that movie, it's fucking hilarious.
The idea of just you by yourself watching The Muppets Treasure Island.
It's like fucking good film, by the way.
I like as well that you watched 2 different adaptations of Treasure Island and not the original.
That's because the original's pish. Don't at me.
That's funny. Shit,
I just closed down Netflix. What the fuck else have I been watching? this is probably the episode to talk about it. I watched the full Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Oh my god, my brain is not working.
I think we might have talked about that last time. I can't remember now.
I think it was on. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's okay.
I think that might actually be it. Like, I'm looking at the rest of my list, and I think I've already talked about all the other movies. I have a bigger watch list of things I need to watch rather than things I have watched. Like my next watch after recording this podcast is a movie called Hotel Artemis, which I've been told is very good.
There's this. Sorry, continue. Sorry, keep on saying.
It's got Jodie Foster, Sophia Boutella, and Jeff Goldblum is in it. So I thought, fuck it, that'll be a good laugh.
There's a movie that I am absolutely dying to watch, right? And I'm just dying to watch it because it keeps on showing up on Netflix. Every time I see it, I keep on looking up the IMDb's on it, and it's just so funny to just read through the reviews. Like, it's basic. It's Left Behind by Nicolas Cage, right? So this movie concept, Left Behind, right, is this like Christian set of movies from the 90s, right? It was like a book, and then this, but it's basically Nicolas Cage. It's basically meant to be the worst movie of all time. Like, all the reviews say, "Oh my god, what is this movie? Like, what is this?" It's like got less than, like, people try and give it less than 1 star. It's like hilarious.
Oh no!
So it's basically Nick Cage is a pilot, right? Like a commercial airline pilot. He's flying a plane, and mysteriously millions of people disappear on the earth.
Okay.
But everyone in the reviews just say it's like literally the story of this is just that Cage lands a plane. And that's it. Like, I think the original story is meant to be that it's like it's something to do with like the rapture or something, and like taking away loads of. But apparently, this movie doesn't even delve into that because it's trying not to be too Christian or something.
Oh my God.
And it's literally the story is just Nick Cage lands a plane, and I'm absolutely dying to watch it. It's just like just because it's that bad. So
wow.
It'd probably make a funny podcast, so I might save it for the podcast.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Well, Alec just turned what we were watching this week into shit films I'd like to watch. So
I mean, I'm going to put this out there for people that are listening. If you want to see us like just watch really fucking awful movies and then review them, please.
There's something.
Let us know.
There's something that has an effect that's pure enticing when you look at the views of a movie and everyone's just saying how bad it is. Like, I mean, people were going, like, you will never get this time back of your life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how bad the reviews were. It was like, go do something else. Do anything but this. Do not watch this movie. And that just, when somebody says I can't do something, I just want to fucking watch it. Do you know what I mean?
It's like morbid curiosity. You're just like, I have to watch it now.
As a connoisseur of horrible movies and good movies, there's something, like, as you say, there's something enticing about watching a really awful movie that everybody hates. You're like, ooh, I kind of want to know what it is now.
And I find it, like, sorry, on you.
No, you go.
Well, I find it kind of inspiring because it's like this. Like, you watch it and you're like this is terrible, and this got made. Like, someone like the amount of work that goes into making a film, and someone managed to get this made. You know, like I could do that.
Hey, if The Room can get made, you can make a movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just imagining like us in the future making some movie. It's nominated for like a fucking Oscar, and we walk up to the stage. Nick Cage, your movie Left Behind fucking made me get into filmmaking.
Shout out to Tommy Wiseau for The Room. If you can make a film after we did it.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like quite a big budget film as well, or like a fairly, like, bigger than The Room. Do you know what I mean? Like, there'll be people did special effects and stuff. So yeah,
I mean, yeah, like Nick Cage in the 90s is like big shit. So like,
and this isn't 90s. You know, this is like 2000.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. This is like older Nick Cage. This isn't young Nick Cage. Nick Cage in the 90s was a fucking superstar. Like,
yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
That maybe makes more sense. Like 2000s is where his run of
totally starts. Yeah. No, I know. Like the original set of movies was 90s, but this is like a remake. But yeah, I'm just curious.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like there was movies before this one about the same thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Nice. Well, yeah, we have been talking about maybe doing like a terrible movies segment at some point, so we might do that. But if anyone would be interested in that, let us know.
I'm interested in that.
Yes, so am I.
we're just gonna do it for ourselves anyway. Like,
I want to watch bad movies and just destroy them.
we should call the series Shiters.
just shiters.
Shiters.
Has a nice ring to it.
Right. Anyway.
Speaking of shite movies,
It is not a shit movie. This is a good film.
I'm kidding.
Let's move on to our main segment. That was what the show is all about. Today we're going to be watching 2018's Green Book. It was released in 2018. It's directed by Peter Farrelly, written by Nick Vallelonga. I don't know if that's right, but that seems to be what it is.
You tried your best.
Longer.
And Brian Curry and Peter Farrelly. Starring Viggo Mortensen, Mahershala Ali, and Linda Cardellini. Available from Scooby-Doo herself.
Nice.
With a score by Chris Bowers. And it is a Best Picture winner. It was the 2019 Best Picture winner with much controversy because people really didn't think it would win.
Yeah. I can tell that you think this shouldn't have won.
We already know you.
We'll get into this properly later. I don't think this should have won. However, it is still a really good movie. It's just not on that level for me.
Is it Oscar bait?
I don't know. It's not quite as Oscar. It's not like Darkest Hour, where that Gary Oldman film feels very Oscar baity. But
what would you
this
describe as
so,
Oscar bait? What would you describe Oscar bait as being?
A movie that deliberately goes for the artsy fucking look, the artsy story. It's everything that looks really pretentious and just
like as much as it's very good, The Revenant is an Oscar bait. Movies about suffering. Where an actor gets to really just do their thing.
Yeah, that movie was made for Leo to get an Oscar. That's the only reason that was made. See, when you said that, I kind of had the thing of like a movie that I don't think should have won an Oscar. I mean, I kind of get why it did because of the subject matter, but I don't think Bohemian Rhapsody should have won an Oscar.
No. I mean, did it? I can't remember.
Yeah,
did it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
oh shit.
It won Oscar. It won Best Picture, didn't it?
Let me just check. Hold on, I've got them here. It did not. You are wrong, sir.
I thought it did.
It was nominated. I remember that, but
are you sure? I thought it won.
It was it's nominated the same year as this Green Book.
What did it win then? It did win. It won
editing, wasn't it?
It did win an Oscar in something.
It got best editing, which a lot of people think it doesn't deserve either, and Rami Malek got best actor as well.
That's what I meant. So that's what I meant. Rami Malek shouldn't have got best actor in that. That's what I meant. Like he shouldn't have. Like I don't think that movie is worthy of any Oscars. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it's a decent enough movie and the music is good, but come on, like it's a biopic. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So. Yes, this is an Oscar winner. This is part of our series.
Hopefully we'll have some theme music.
Yes, there was meant to be the music on the last one.
Sorry.
I know it's like I was editing it late, and I kind of got to that point. I was like, "Oh no!" And then we talk about the theme music for a really long time as well. we keep going like, "Did you like the theme music?" And we're like, "There's none there."
That makes it funny.
There's the theme.
It's really funny.
It's the really basic theme, like da 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 da.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, well done on the theme tune, by the way, that we now have, Alec.
Like you just
good theme tune, Alec.
Both pressuring me to make it. Fine.
Did you like the theme tune, everyone?
Fine.
It's literally like a 2-second bit of music.
I know.
What you should do is make it like the most epic 2 seconds ever. Like, bah, bah. No, that just ends.
Yeah,
like it's going to get this fucking.
I'll get the Inception horn in there.
That's it.
Anyway, yes, Green Book. We're watching Green Book today. We will get into whether it should have won an Oscar later on, but it is also Wow. Okay. When you know what the Green Book is.
So is Green Book about, you know, like in primary school when you used to cover your jotters in wallpaper?
You're both gonna feel something when you realise what it is. That's really funny.
I know we're gonna come back and be like, oh my god, we said something incredibly offensive.
Oh my god. Anyway, I really like this film. It's very kind of heartfelt and uplifting, and I think it's a good time. And we will get into its merits later on. But yes, we're going to watch it. It is available on Amazon Prime to rent. I believe it's only about £3.50, something like that. Yes. We're going to be doing that, and yeah, we'll let you know how that goes. Okay. Right after the break, you can head off and watch it. We're going to get into full spoilers after this, but right now, let's watch Green Book. Let's go.
Green Book.
Let's go.
Yeah. Some guy called over here, a doctor. He's looking for a driver. You interested?
I am not a medical doctor. I'm a musician. I'm about to embark on a concert tour in the Deep South. What other experience do you have?
Public relations.
Do you foresee any issues in working for a black man?
You in the Deep South? There's gonna be problems.
Promise me you're gonna write me a letter.
No problems. Tell me that don't smell good.
I've never had fried chicken in my life.
You people love the fried chicken.
You have a very narrow assessment of me, Tony.
Yeah, right? I'm good.
You will be interacting with some of the wealthiest people in the country. It is my feeling that your diction could use some finessing.
But why you breaking my balls?
Because you can do better, Mr. Valalonga.
Dear Dolores.
I saw Dr. Shirley play the piano. He's like a genius, I think.
Come on, take it easy.
I prefer not to get grease on my blanket.
Ooh, I'm gonna get grease on my blanket.
This gentleman says that I'm not permitted to dine here.
I'm afraid not. How does he smile and shake their hands like that?
Because it takes courage to change people's hearts.
Hey, it's me, Tony Lip. Hey, it's my fingerboard, it's Tony Lip. Hey, it's me.
Okay.
Hello, welcome back. We've just watched Green Book. I've forgotten the director's name. Peter Farrelly's Green Book came out in 2018. Yes, we've just watched it. It was on Amazon Prime. I need to get up the spoiler alarm. But
are you
first
that
things
unprepared
first.
again?
Shh. Well, I've got time. First things first. Spoiler free. Give us your thoughts. Sean first, please.
Aye.
Okay, cool.
Nah, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that movie a lot. That was a good movie.
Good.
It redeemed the £3.50 that I spent on it. That is all I will say for now until you get the spoiler alarm.
That's all we can say.
Cool. I also enjoyed this movie. I actually enjoyed it a lot more that time, I think.
Sure. Second or third viewing?
Second. So yes, Green Book. This is your final warning. If you've not watched Green Book, we're about to get into full spoilers. So the spoiler alarm is sounding. The spoiler alarm is now sounding. You must now go away and watch Green Book if you've not watched it already. This is the spoiler alarm. This is your final warning. It is full spoilers from now on. So, quick recap of the film. So this is a film about. It's actually one little note I want to bring up before we get into this. So I don't know if you remember, like before in the first half of this, I mentioned the writers' names, and I fucked up the last name of one of them. The guy is Nick Vallelonga. It's the guy's son. It's the actual guy's son. And there's a whole joke in the film about the can't get his name right. And I'm one of those people.
What did you say?
I said like Vallelonga or something. I can't remember. I might have got it right.
You know what? That's even better. That's fun.
That's so funny. I kind of realised after the film, like, oh.
Wait, so the director's the guy's son?
No, the writer. There's three writers on it. Him, Brian Curry, and Peter, and the director's one of the writers as well. Peter Farrelly.
Right, I see.
But yeah, they worked with the guy's son. Anyway, yes. So this is a film about Viggo Mortensen plays Tony Vallelonga, or Tony Lip as he's known.
You were so close to fucking off again.
It is like, ooh.
He plays Tony Vallelonga, who is he's a fixer guy. Like he's very, very New York guy. He kind of like gets his hands dirty. He kind of does any job that's going. We open in a scene. He's working as a bouncer at the Copacabana. And this kind of like
drinks are free.
this like it's not really said who, like, just this kind of like, it's kind of gangster vibes. I don't know if it's actually meant to be. It's not really said in the film. This guy comes in and he's talking about his hat, and he's like, look after this hat to the girl behind the desk, and he's like, give me the hat, and kind of gives her money to like take the hat. This causes the Copacabana to be shut down in a long series of events.
No, that's not what causes it to be shut down, is it?
Yeah, because the guy comes back and says, like, either you find my hat or I'll shut this place down, and then it cuts to the place being shut.
No, it says that they were shutting down for repairs because the floor was damp.
I think that's kind of the excuse they give. The way it's cut anyway, it seems like they shut it down. But yes, and then but obviously he took the hat so that he could be the guy who found the hat, so he gets a job with this guy.
Yeah.
So yes, that's the kind of guy that Tony is. You meet his family. We have Linda Cardellini playing his wife, who's called what's her name? Dolores.
What is she in? She's in other stuff, isn't she?
She's you probably best know her as Velma in the live action Scooby Doo movies.
Oh, is that her? Oh god, I didn't even recognize her. God.
But yeah, she's in loads of things. And yes, he is contacted about a job, a driver for a doctor. That is all it's described as to him. And he turns up, and it is Mahershala Ali playing Don Shirley, a real life musician. This is based on a true story, by the way. And he is this kind of very kind of posh, well spoken. He's like very kind of like high class musician guy, kind of jazz pianist.
Classical.
Like he kind of has to do other styles. It's explained later on. He can do other styles and things like that. But yeah, he's trained as a classical pianist. And it's said later on that he's like a virtuoso. So he's been playing since he was like 3 and things like that. He's hired for the job and to go on tour with him. And the point is that is a tour going down into the deep south of America, where there will be trouble for a black man in terms of traveling through the country.
It's worth saying this is set in what, the 50s, going into 60s?
50s, 60s, yeah, so somewhere around that. Yeah.
The most racist time in America.
I mean, it's not the most racist time, but it's
you know what I mean? Like,
I think all the time is the most racist time in America.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
It was not a good time for that.
Nah. It's set in 1962. I'm just reading up about it right now, by the way.
Cool. Okay. Yes. The point is that Tony is a guy that can kind of deal with a problem. So he's hired as the kind of like essentially as a bodyguard for Don Shirley, as well as his driver. So they head off on tour. They play their. So this movie is basically reverse Driving Miss Daisy. I don't know if you've seen. I've not seen it either. But the concept of Driving Miss Daisy is, I believe Morgan Freeman plays a driver for a rich white lady. And it's about the kind of race relations and the kind of the way that they bond and things like that.
Oh, I think I've heard of that movie. Yeah.
This is essentially the reverse, where the white guy is the kind of tough street smart guy, and then there's the black guy in the back who is the kind of more high class one in this case. So it's basically a reverse on that idea.
Yeah.
So yes, they head off on tour. They're kind of starting to bond. Most of the film is just kind of moving from venue to venue, and there's more and more kind of
altercations
that Tony has to deal with. We kind of find out that Don Shirley has a drinking problem. He's quite lonely. It's later revealed that he's gay as well, which kind of another part of the kind of thing that's kind of separating him from the people around him and making him feel quite isolated, especially in that time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to describe the plot of the film for on that point. They slowly bond. There's a lot of very, very funny scenes throughout of them kind of bonding and kind of like culture clashing.
They both kind of like learn from each other, and it's kind of
totally.
fun.
Yeah. And then eventually, at one point they end up in jail because Tony punched a policeman, like a racist policeman. And that's another thing, like Tony's a guy that kind of jumps to violence quite quickly.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And that's interesting as well, because he's been subjected to racism there as well.
That's the thing, yeah.
Or being Italian, yeah.
He's Italian, and yeah, it's kind of brought up a couple of times throughout the film, for sure. And yeah, the whole film is basically about kind of the way that people kind of see each other, and it's worth pointing out, like Tony is not like an actively like aggressively racist guy. He's just someone that kind of doesn't really think before he speaks, and he's kind of been brought up in a certain way.
I don't think he's racist. I think he's just a person born in that era.
Yeah, no, totally. And he seems better than most.
Like he says at one point, like, he's very like, because he's been like working in like obviously kind of show business and stuff, like working in the Copacabana, that he's used to different people and like people that are different and stuff like that. Yeah, like when he finds out that Don Charlie's gay, he never makes a big deal of it. He just kind of
question it. Yeah.
No, he doesn't question it, and he's like, you can tell that he's got morals about like working for somebody. Like if he's been paid to do a job for somebody, he's not gonna. Do you know what I mean? Like he's very, he kind of has a standard that he lives by. I think when he's working.
Yeah, he commits to it. Yeah,
yeah, because like, there's a few times where he makes it quite clear, like that's my boss. Like,
yeah, totally. Yeah. And like he's not like completely without fault with this stuff. There is a scene right at the start of the film where he comes home and his wife has brought in two handymen who are both black, and he's clearly not fully comfortable about it. And there's a moment where the glasses that they were drinking from, he puts them in the bin.
That's right.
Oh, is that what that was? I wondered what that was. Right.
Yeah. So, but again, it's kind of more just that, like you get the sense that this is just the way he was raised. He's not like actively a racist guy. He just like doesn't quite get it. He's
been surrounded by people that act like that towards. Like
exactly, yeah.
The black community, do you know what I mean? And it's like, as soon as he learns that, I mean, Don Shirley's just like another human, like everyone else. It doesn't take much for him to change the way he thinks.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I think that goes to say with his family as well. Like at the end, like I mean, they all just embrace him pretty much as soon as. Like they kind of realise that if Don says he's sound, then they will. Sorry, not Don. What's his name? The Italian guy.
Tony.
If Tony says he's sound, then it's kind of a goer in it. It kind of feels that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That ending scene was so beautiful, by the way. Like, they're all around the Christmas table, and Don Shirley walks in, and it's just silence for a minute, and then he goes, "Well, fuck it, get him a plate." It's yes, it feels so good to watch.
Yeah, I suppose that's kind of the end of the recap. Is they end up there is a show, the final show on the tour.
Birmingham
is
Birmingham like Christmas,
it's the day before Christmas Eve, and he is kind of turned away from the restaurant in the venue, and there's been a whole thing through it where like he kind of like just takes it. Like anytime there's a kind of racist situation, Don Shirley just kind of smiles and kind of just keeps going, just deals with it. Whereas Tony's not that kind of guy, and he doesn't turn to violence, but he kind of finally kind of realizes, like, you know, I don't have to put up with this shit, you know, like he can kind of, and so he decides to not play the show.
Then they go off to like
the Orange Bird, I think it's called.
No, that was the meal that they had. Was that the same name as the pub?
It was the name, yeah.
Right, okay.
It was the place. The guy who ran the restaurant said there's a great place downtown called the Orange Bird.
That's right, yeah. They'll serve you there. It's like,
there's a great thing about this movie that it's not only deals with like the injustice that it deals with the fact that the black community see him as being different as well.
Yes,
which is really interesting as well. Like, because he shows him, like he presents himself as being upper class and very. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally,
so I think that's confusing.
Yeah, plus the fact that he's gay as well. You know,
Yeah,
like
totally.
There's this amazing speech. The
I was
Marshall Ali.
literally just about to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, the amazing speech that Mahershala Ali does. Which, like, we were talking about, he won Best Supporting Actor that year, and it's just like, yeah, fucking hell, yeah. Where he's talking about, like, he just kind of snaps, and he's like, if I'm not black enough, and I'm not white enough, and I'm not man enough, then what am I? And,
it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's one of those scenes where you forget it's acting, and you're just like, this is so fucking.
I know, and it was a
Holy
setting
shit.
as well, like in the pouring rain and all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We didn't even mention the part where he, when they were in jail, he called the president.
He called him bloody president.
Oh, yeah.
Not even
like that's so much of a badass this guy is.
Kennedy as well. But he feels
totally.
disgraced that he had to go to that length. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
that's the
'cause
thing. He is not proud of that. Like,
no, totally, yeah. But from Tony's point of view,
he's like,
and Kate
yeah.
From our point of view, he's like, fucking yeah.
he's like Yalney.
Because Don has played at the White House a few times and things like that.
Yeah.
And then eventually they don't play that show, and then they head home. Well, they head off to the Orange Birds. They have a meal there, and he's asked to play piano, and he ends up playing with the house band, kind of sort of more kind of rock and roll bluesy stuff.
Yeah, well, what he does actually, which I liked, was the first thing that he does when he asks him to go up on stage is he plays the Chopin that he trained to play. That like throughout the movie he's been saying he's been like the record company wanted him to play popular music for the masses, so that's kind of what he's kind of been forced to do. But like the first thing that he does is it's not on a Steinway or anything, and he just absolutely blows the roof off by playing Chopin. And he also takes he says he never wants to be that piano player that has a glass of whiskey on top of the thing, and he takes the whiskey off. Yeah. Tony's like,
he does like Viggo Mortensen does the best laugh in that moment. It's so
he's like, it's like,
it's so good.
Yeah. But I was kind of deliberating how like that club would perceive that type of music as well. I didn't know if they were going to be. I didn't know if they were going to be like, fuck yes, like this is amazing, or they were going to be like, what's that all about? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, totally. So, they just kind of.
It's good that they embraced it.
Yeah, and then the band come up and they kind of play a more kind of rock and roll thing, which he's kind of been resistant to the entire time. But then he kind of comes out and he's like, "I'll do that once a month for free." That was like
he enjoys it because it's a good time and people are
yeah.
And I love my favourite bits was when the musicians were coming onto the stage to join him, and it's just those nods of approval, just like yeah. So good.
No, absolutely.
It's like the sax player was like
totally. Yes, and then after that they head off home, and they're trying to drive through the night. Don Shirley ends up driving Tony the rest of the way because he has to sleep, and then they make it back home for Christmas.
Well,
Eve
there's one thing actually, they get stopped by a cop on the way.
Oh yes,
and you're actually you kind of for the whole movie, kind of every time they've been stopped by the police, that's kind of been like a very bad thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he kind of shines a light in his face, and it just turns out that he's just talking about their flat tire, and you're like, wait.
It's a nice moment.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then they get home, and Don Shirley ends up going back to his own house, which is this kind of really fancy house, but he's there on his own. Tony's invited him for Christmas, but he decides to go home. But then he eventually turns up, and like we say, there is a awkward pause, and then everyone's just like, "Well, what are you in for? Get him a plate." And it's this really sweet ending.
One thing I noticed as well was like his, like the dude that works for him at his house, like he didn't invite him home for Christmas with him. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing I noticed. He just went like that. Right, 5 p.m. I'm off. Off ski.
Bye.
Back home.
Oh god,
no, absolutely.
Well, I found this out while I was looking for the Green Book IMDb page. I noticed that a word came up on Google's autocomplete. I put in Green Book, and then it came up controversy.
Yeah,
there was a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. There's a fucking horrific string of them.
Yeah.
About what? I'm curious.
Oh Christ, where to fucking begin?
It's the So I guess the main one really is the fact that although it is based on a true story, it does romanticize the story quite a bit.
It does.
They were not as close friends. Well, so the thing is that Don Shirley's family
They denounced the movie as well, by the way.
Yes, they claimed that they were not as close friends as they were, and they also claimed that the characterization of like his relationship with his brother and the rest of his family is misrepresented.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I don't know why they chose to do that, but
it's fluff for. I think it's fluff deliberately because it's fantasy. It's
a movie. It's a movie. It's a movie.
I do kind of wonder if they're gonna change the details, maybe give everyone different names, like they make it more of a story rather than saying based on a true story when it's kind of a very loose adaptation of that story.
Yeah, totally. Maybe not have it.
It's the word based in that sentence that I was like,
yeah, like inspired might have been a better way of doing it.
Inspired by
based means the same thing, though, doesn't it? Based.
I mean, yeah,
base means that the ground level is based.
Yeah, and the concept is very much the same, but yeah,
I understand from the family's point of view that if it was something misrepresented, you'd be pissed. But
yeah,
I mean, as a general movie, I think it hits some good nerves. Do you know what I mean? Like points.
Yeah,
that
absolutely. Yeah,
should be noted.
Yes, that's. Yes.
No, it's just I'm reading through more of this, and there's so much controversial things. Like Peter Farrelly,
the director.
Yeah, I really don't want to read this out. It's he apparently back in the workplace years ago, he used to play a dirty prank where he would just expose himself to people.
Oh, okay, that's not where I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Hang on.
Right, so this isn't about the movie; it's just about the director. We don't need to know about that.
Years ago, but
no, I was just talking about the movie.
Okay, we'll keep it. You want to keep it on the movie?
Yeah. I just meant about the movie, not.
The other thing about the movie that some people have slight issues with the way it handles some of the race things. I think they're kind of doing there's a kind of cliche, the white savior cliche. There's a white guy brought in to kind of save the black person or whatever, and it's I don't think this movie really
I don't
does.
think
I've seen
this
much
movie
worse
shows
examples
that.
of it.
I don't think.
No, yeah.
I mean, maybe it could be perceived as that, but the reason why I don't think it's like that is because it's not as if Tony doesn't make the decision to stop playing that last show to save him.
Yeah.
He Don makes that decision.
Yeah.
And then Tony just respects that as a friend. Do you know what I mean? I think I don't see it as a savior. I feel it. Do you know what I mean? I think the reason why it works as Tony's character being white is because it shows that divide, and then somebody that doesn't fully get it and then learns. Do you know what I mean? And becomes a better person at the end of the movie because of it. Hope you know what I mean?
I can see why you could kind of see it that criticize it for that.
Yeah, totally.
Personally, I don't really see it that way. I think I've seen much worse examples of that. I think Game of Thrones has much worse examples of it for a start, like the Daenerys
cliche and stuff of
like Daenerys freeing the slaves and things like that, and there's this image of them surrounding her, and she's in this white dress. And shit,
totally.
But I don't know. I think I should disclaimer. This is an audio-based medium. You may not know. We are three very pasty white guys.
100%.
We are maybe not the most qualified people to talk about it, but
totally.
But just from our humble opinion, I can see why, but I have seen much worse examples. I think it's possibly this movie was targeted for it because this movie, it was a Best Picture winner. It became quite a big deal.
Any movies like this is going to come under scrutiny.
Exactly. Yeah, and I get it. It does make some amount of sense, but yeah, I think it's maybe slightly unfair in the case of this particular film. But
overall, I thought it was a good, heartwarming movie. I mean,
I thought it was inspirational.
It's nice to see a movie that doesn't. have someone die in it or to have someone. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it makes me cringe. Sometimes because like I'm so used to watching movies because movies there's not a lot of movies these days that can pull off being a good movie without having a shock factor in it.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that this movie does it quite well, where it's like there's nothing. I mean, like the whole movie has loads of shocking events and stuff like that, but it doesn't have to kill off a character or something to have an emotional story. Do you know what I mean? It's like so I think that's quite good.
Totally.
So I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here. I thought it was a good movie, but there's a kind of lovely string of awkward through it as well, or it's kind of talking about like the sort of the 60s in America and like the Deep South being the way they were back then.
I mean, we are three Scottish dudes. We are not clued up on we are not mega clued up on racial injustice in America.
Yeah,
like so we're you know. What I mean?
Yeah, I'd like to reiterate that point. Is we're definitely not the best people to be talking about this kind of thing. We're just movie critics for the love of God. Not even movie critics. We're just like shitting on films. So yeah, anything we say,
yes, absolutely.
90% probably take it with a pinch of salt. We just want to talk about the movie and how well acted it was, how well the direction was, the sound production. That's kind of our thing.
Yes. Which, in that regard, it is pretty amazing. Like,
it's class.
I have to say the directing is like the shots and like the way they're like structured is beautiful.
It's beautifully shot.
There wasn't one moment that felt jarring or anything like that. It was totally seamless.
Yeah, totally. And just acting wise, we've already talked about Mahershala Ali, but fucking, he's so good. He's
brilliant.
Incredible in this film. Just they love the way he plays, like the just really reserved guy, and the way he slowly opens up. And even at the end of the film, he's still well spoken. He's still kind of this very reserved guy, but he just opens up a little more body language wise, and it just it's amazing. And then Viggo Mortensen as well, who was nominated for Best Leading Actor. He didn't win. He lost to Rami Malek. Whether that was justified or not, I don't know. But
so what movies was this up against?
Yeah, we should talk about that. Like, do we think it deserved the Oscar?
So yes, this is the big thing. So the two big questions that we are trying to answer with this Oscar quest is: should it have won Best Picture? And regardless of that, is it one of those movies? Is it one of the greatest movies ever made? Which, in theory, if the Oscars work the way they're meant to, the Best Picture winners, that's what they should be.
Okay. List the movies.
So
what was it up against?
So the year it was 2019, the 2019 Oscars. Mm-hmm. So the nominees were Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favourite, which I've not seen, but is apparently amazing.
It's pretty good, I have to say.
Roma, which was the big favourite, which is Alfonso Cuarón's film about his childhood and things like that.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Okay.
A Star is Born. Vice, which I watched recently, and that is very good. Don't know if it should have won, but it's very good. Black Panther, which...
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's not even the best MCU movie to come out that year, but fair enough. And then, of course, Green Book, which won. So it's an interesting lineup. This was not a well-liked decision.
It caused a lot of controversy.
I'm trying to think, though.
Is it
I don't know that.
Lee said something about
there's one movie that, of course, he's going to say something about it. You directed thingy.
Black Klansman.
I'm trying to think. What was that movie you said that I don't know what it is? There's one that I don't know. I think it's
the Favourite.
The Favourite.
Have you seen Roma?
Right. No, I've not seen that. So there's two that I've not seen. I've seen the rest. I'm trying to think if this is better than Black Klansman.
I haven't watched Black Klansman yet. So
I would say this is a better movie than Black Klansman is.
See,
I like Black Klansman, but it's, I don't know. It's interesting. The soundtrack is phenomenal in it, and it is a really good movie. But this
very interesting year for movies for Oscar nominations as well. Like, there's a kind of theme around them.
Yeah, it is worth kind of talking about. Again, as three white guys, there are three films in here that deal with race pretty directly, which is Green Book, Black Panther, and BlacKkKlansman.
Yep.
And it is worth noting that the one that won is the one directed by a white guy and starring a white guy. You know,
yeah, it's not good.
Which interesting.
Does feel a little iffy. You know?
I mean, you'd hope they'd judge on the merit of the movie, but there has been a lot of like injustice in the Oscars that way with like not supporting.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. I look, personally, I would probably do
BlacKkKlansman is a great film though.
Yeah, I would probably do BlacKkKlansman. I have not seen Roma. I know that was the favorite that year. That was weirdly there's a film called The Favorite, but the favorite was Roma.
They're so different as well though.
The one to win, you mean?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's one I haven't checked out yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it is an interesting one. I'm kind of the first time I watched this, I was like, "That's great," but definitely not a better.
See, I've seen BlacKkKlansman a couple of times. So I think I'd maybe have to give this one another watch. But I do like BlacKkKlansman a lot.
I haven't seen it.
I loved it it's brilliant. It's really good.
Yeah.
I have seen The Favourite, however, and that should not have been in that fucking list, by the way. It's good.
Really? Okay.
It is good, but it's not a Best Picture nomination. Not by a long shot.
Fair enough.
It is very good, again.
See, I'm always
biased.
I'm biased to movies that like involve music and stuff like that as well.
Me too, yeah.
It's a point with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. So, if you're not aware, we are three musicians. We were in a band together. So
yeah, that's what kind of caught me with this movie was that it was like, I don't know, it's just a really interesting subject. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's a debatable one. I can see why. I do think it's good enough. Like, I think in a poorer year, I can be like, yeah, sure, definitely. But
it's a strong year for nominations by the sounds of it.
It's definitely better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody was like not that great.
No, like it should.
They missed out so much of Freddie's life. They just made it so PG. It was like, come on, man.
Yeah, totally.
Eat some sauce. You know what I mean? What actually happened?
I know exactly, but it's definitely better than that. I've not seen Star Is Born, but I'm going to guess it's better than that.
It's absolutely better than that. I really like the Star Is Born I didn't realize it was a remake of a remake.
Oh yeah. It was. What's her name? Barbra Streisand. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would say Star Is Born is better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Definitely. Okay. Did you say what do you think? Green Book or Star Is Born? What do you think is better?
Me.
Just Sean, because he's seen it.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
This is better than A Star Is Born.
I would probably say that Green Book is better than A Star Is Born. The story was definitely more interesting. Like, A Star Is Born is kind of just 2 people moseying about, really, for most of the movie. There's not much else to say.
I mean, Star Is Born is great, and Lady Gaga has an amazing voice. It's a very showy off Lady Gaga movie.
The music is fucking phenomenal as well.
It is. Yeah. I would say that this was better. This was better as a movie.
A better story. Yeah.
As a movie, it's a more interesting story. Yeah.
As a movie, it's definitely better.
Yeah.
I would. Yes.
There's sticking to the question now.
Yeah, I'd probably order it if I was to choose. It'd probably be BlacKkKlansman, then Green Book, then what was the other one? Star Is Born and
Vice.
I've not seen Vice, so I'd have to see that.
It's really good. I think this is probably better, but it is very, very good. I don't know. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's not quite as kind of clear cut as the other one.
Oh, is that the movie about Dick Cheney?
Yes, with the Christian Bale where he got really big.
I haven't seen it, but I've got it.
Chunky Monkey.
Chunky Monkey. Yeah,
I saw the poster for it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's very good.
Okay, I suppose That's kind of answers that question. Did it deserve to win the Oscar that year?
Like it's not the worst film.
I'd say it's close, and I think, like you said, if it was on a different year,
if it was any other year,
yeah, like that's a fairly. There's a few kind of surprise, like Bohemian Rhapsody should not be in there, but like
I wouldn't put the favorite in there.
Overall though, that is a good quality year.
But let's have a look and see what other movies came out that year. Movies in 2018.
Yeah,
2019 was it not?
It was, but they usually do it from the year before, do they not?
Yeah, this film's 2018, but yeah.
I see.
Right, let's see. Because I work for a cinema, and even I don't fucking know what came out. There wasn't a lot, if I remember that. Like,
it was a slightly more in between year, yeah. Like
that movie Hotel Artemis that I wanted to watch is out that year, but
yeah, I doubt that was going to be in this.
No, I'm just saying it was there. I'm just looking through the list.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
No, okay, fair enough. Do you know what? It's actually that year wasn't great, if I'm honest.
It's a slightly weaker year. Like last year was really solid for movies. 2019 was really solid for movies. 2018 feels like a slightly more average year overall.
Was it not 2019 that was like the most insane movie year for movies ever, or was that
2018? There was a lot of good movies. 2019.
I think it was like 2019 had like everything in it. It had like
Godzilla,
it had like
Oz.
Fuck off. No, did it not have like Star Wars, Toy Story, like everything?
Yeah.
Like in 2019, Endgame, Star Wars, Toy Story.
Yeah, and then
Joker,
Parasite, 1917.
Yeah,
I'm just naming movies that I've seen that year.
It was like
2019 was pretty
ridiculous.
amazing.
I remember. I remember it being 2018 and like looking at what movies were coming out in 2019 and be like, holy shit, man! Like what?
I know. That was a pretty good year. There's a few of those really like particularly great years in movies. Like I remember like people talk about 2008 a lot as being a really good one. I can't remember specifically what's in it, but I think it was like Dark Knight was that year and things like that. But yeah, we'll probably get to things like that when they come up. But yes, overall,
is it maybe like a phenomenon that happens once every 10 years or something? Maybe,
possibly. Yeah. Yes, overall, probably not my best picture pick for that year, but not a million miles off. Like I don't think it deserves the kicking it got because of that. It's
a solidly well made. It's a well made movie.
It's really well made. I think people have a bit of a problem with like schmaltziness, and like it is quite schmaltzy. Like it's quite kind of like saccharine and sweet, and and I can kind of get that. There is the scene, as much as it's a nice moment, the scene where the police car turns up and it's just like, oh yeah, you just had a flat tire.
Yeah,
that moment starts to feel a bit It's a Wonderful Life for me, where it's just like they're expecting something to happen, and this cop's like Merry Christmas, and then leaves them alone. It's just like
it's kind of it's that kind of movie, though, isn't it? Like,
I know. Yeah. But yeah, it just like I think that kind of tone puts some people off.
I know what you mean, and it's like, yeah, of course, like the cop that says that is like as soon as they get up north, it's like all fine, and it's like it's not not all fine up north as well, though, is it? Like it's kind of everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
It's a slightly simplistic way of looking at it. For sure.
Totally.
But yeah, yes. Overall, I think it's like right in the middle of that pack. It's probably not the top for me, but I think overall, though, like the quality wise, they're all kind of in a similar vein.
They're close, man.
You know?
They're really close.
Yeah, out of the nominees, I'd probably say it's like in the top three, kind of in the lead of the race for the best picture.
Yes, I would.
Am I right in saying that Black Klansman was one of the first movies that what's his name called? David Washington? John David Washington.
Yeah.
Was that his like breakthrough movie as an actor?
I think he'd been in. I actually don't know. I think he'd been in some stuff before that, but yeah, like
I've got a feeling that was like his one of the first leading role. So for your first leading role to be nominated for an Oscar, is pretty decent. Like,
yeah, no, totally.
And of course, Denzel Washington, you're going to be a good actor, and you come on. You know what I mean? You're going to be no bad. Like,
Oh,
he's great. He's so good in Tenet. Like,
Yeah, he's amazing in Tenet.
what was that movie I watched with him in it recently? Hold on. I need to remember. There's a movie I watched recently and I think you both should watch it.
Is he in it?
Remember the
Is he in it?
fucking name? Yeah.
I've only seen him in Black Klansman and Tenet.
It's where he plays a train conductor and he has to talk to basically this guy.
Is it Denzel Washington movie?
Yeah, it's a Denzel Washington.
Oh
movie.
yeah, I think I've heard of that.
I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, I
But
think I know the thing you mean.
Yeah, he ends up having to be like the hostage negotiator, and it's fucking excellent.
Is
Oh.
John Travolta in that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I have. It's called The Taking of Pelham 123.
That's it.
And,
I could not remember the name of it.
Yeah,
That's one of those
pretty good kind of thriller action film. Yeah,
That's one of those movies that I've always like scroll by, but I'm like, I should watch that one day, but I never end up watching it.
it's good. It's nothing like mind blowing, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. And yeah,
It's just a really fun action thriller. There's a recommendation for you over this.
Do you know what movie we should watch one day? We should watch Collateral. That's a great movie.
Ooh,
I like Collateral a lot. Yeah,
With like you see Tom Cruise as the bad guy, which I like.
It's different.
I'm actually, I'm a big fan of Michael Mann that directed that. So yeah, like we do.
And Jamie Foxx is a legend.
Jamie Foxx, of course. Yeah. So yes, no, I think we're all kind of settled, like kind of agreed. Like it's maybe not the best film that year, but it's not a million miles away.
Really
As
enjoy
a
it.
nominee, it definitely belongs in that category. As a nominee,
I think it's good enough for that.
As a punter watching a movie, I thought it was brilliant. Like,
Absolutely. Now, removed from that, the question of, is this one of the 93 greatest movies ever made?
nah, nope.
No, probably not.
no,
It didn't make me emotional.
Yeah,
Not in the same
And
way.
not in like it made me angry a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But it didn't make me like well up or anything like that. So I think on that level of movie, you've got to get some tears out of you to get that to that level. You know what I mean?
One that makes me like really emotional, I would probably put as one of the best movies ever. This movie didn't, unfortunately.
like Shawshank makes you great.
Yeah,
especially on the first time you watching it, or like Schindler's List, like makes me greet every single time. Every single time I see that movie.
I would say it did get a reaction from me by making me both angry and inspired and stuff like that, and made me feel warm inside. But it didn't hit me as hard as other movies have done in the past. That's where I'm like, sure. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I had a massive grin on my face for most of the film.
Oh,
like it's
100%.
such a like
the comedy in it is well timed, like really
it's
well timed.
so funny. It Viggo Mortensen is hilarious in this. Yeah, I love the the fucking my pal calls it Titsburg.
Pittsburgh.
It's very funny.
And the whole thing the whole thing with the letters was very sweet as well.
That was
I like
cute,
that man. And I really like pretty much the final line of the film with his wife going to Don Shirley, like, thank you for helping him with the letters.
That was
she
cute.
totally
He just
knew
knew.
the whole time. But
She knew the whole time, but she knows that his heart's in the right place.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like to even go to the effort of having him help with the letters means the same.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Although I quite liked his really simplistic letters at the start where he was just describing what he was eating.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant.
It's such a good personal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like his eating habits throughout the movie.
I'm
I thought
eating
that was
chips.
hilarious. He just constantly. It was when he was sitting on his bed and he just got a whole pizza, put it in half, and just started eating it like that. I was howling.
So funny, man.
Like it wasn't even a calzone. It was like a full-on like 15-inch pizza that he just
Just folded.
I would like to know what the food budget for this movie.
Yeah, like he's just eating. It's like a 90s Brad Pitt film. He's just eating in every scene. It's so funny.
Is that what Brad Pitt's known for? Just like,
That's a thing with Brad Pitt. Like you watch Ocean's 11 kind of takes the piss out of it, but like Brad Pitt is just one of those people that just looks cool doing something with his hands. So they often just give him like a hot dog to eat or something.
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah, totally, yeah. But then Ocean's 11, they kind of take the piss out of it, where literally every scene he's eating something, and then at the end of the film, he's like, oh, he's like getting heartburn and stuff.
I need to rewatch the Ocean's movies, man, because I watched them like as when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I've not kind of seen them as an adult, really.
Yeah. The Ocean's 11, the George Clooney Brad Pitt one, the first one is just it's a great film.
I remember it, but like,
yeah,
take it in again.
Yeah, the original old Rat Pack one, not a good film. Not worth watching.
I didn't know it was a remake.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those films that's kind of misremembered. And like so much so that like, in an interview like around the time Ocean's 11 comes out, like George Clooney was asked like, so how do you go about remaking such a classic? And he was just like, have you seen it? It's not a good film. Like,
no. Oh, that's funny.
Oh my god. I have to find that.
Anyway, we got sidetracked as we often do.
Anyway, we rating this out of 10?
Yes, let's rate it. What would we give it? Sean, you first. Because you're eating something, I'm going to come to you first.
Well, thankfully, I swallowed. Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. This movie is very heartwarming, inspirational, and it did elicit some emotion from me. Yes. I'm going to go with a very high 9.8.
Oof!
Damn!
Okay. Shit.
Sean liked this movie.
Fucking brilliant movie.
I like this movie too. I like that.
Yeah.
You kind of got to go in your gut with this one. When I was watching it, there wasn't one moment that I felt was it. And it kept it. Sometimes movies, it kind of, when it starts, it kind of takes a while for get into it, and then it gets, this kind of grabs you kind of straight away.
I would like to add a footnote to my 9.8. I'm looking at it as a movie and not as a biopic.
Sure, yes.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah. I don't know anything about this dude's actual life and what he went through and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, just seeing it as a movie, standalone movie. Obviously, knowing it's a movie, it's not going to be so accurate to actual depictions because
There's a quote that someone said about it where filmmakers are interpreters of history, not historians.
They try to convey a story that's going to work in cinema, that's going to they're always going to ham things up or change things, because that's what will work with, like, that's what will elicit emotions.
I do possibly think that maybe should have, if you're going to change the story, maybe kind of commit to it a bit more, make it like more fictional characters. But I think
especially when it's like dealing with close family members and stuff. I can see that being rough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and quite personal problems. That the guy was an alcoholic and things like that. You know?
It's different.
Yes, treating it as his own thing.
I'd have to read up more about the guy's life to actually judge it on that side. But just as a movie, I thought it was very good. Jake, what's your score? Let's go to you.
Oh God, okay. I'm gonna do a 9.2. 9.2.
Dang!
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's really good. I think there is some. I struggle a little bit with schmaltz. Like I like a schmaltzy movie, but I think there is a line for me, and this pushes right through that line at times.
Yeah.
And I think that just brings me down to 9.2. But I think I really, really like this movie. There's a lot. I really enjoy it. It's good.
Oh, this is hard. You go 9.2, you go 9.8. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. There wasn't a moment that I'll join you. 9.2. I see 9.2? that. Okay. I see that. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's a good estimation of how I feel in this movie.
So the overall feeling is it's a good movie, but a little too much schmaltzing.
It's a bit too much schmaltzing.
Yeah. Like, yes. I mean, the dude was obviously that's how he was. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe they obviously hyped it up. Maybe not, but that's true.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's hard to know, but yeah. Aye.
Yeah.
9.2.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, we're sitting in a kind of similar place then. That's good. That's good. Yeah. We're still looking for that movie, the movie that one of us fucking hates, and then if I
remember rightly, I gave it the first 10. I can't remember.
Me and you gave 10s to Drive. Yeah, on the last episode.
Right.
I'm going to start writing these down because I want to look at the end of the year. I want to kind of look at all our scores.
So, speaking of the next sort of movie,
yes,
well, it's my pick, isn't it?
It is your
look
pick.
At that.
And I think you know your pick, but
I've got two options here.
Oh,
do we also want to look at the next?
Do I go with one movie that we already suggested, or do I go with the movie that has been on my mind lately that is meant to be?
Do you not pick that?
I have so much power right now.
No.
Okay, my need for Jake to see Tenacious D outweighs Nick Cage. We're going to watch Tenacious D, Pick a Destiny. It's on Netflix.
We're going to finally watch it after, like, what was our third episode or something? We're like, we're going to watch that, and then we couldn't watch it, so we watched Godzilla instead.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing, because it wasn't even available to rent off of Amazon.
No, not in the UK, no.
It was weird.
Yeah. But
they took notice. They took notice. Like 2 weeks later, they put it up on the Flicks. So
we have influenced
genuinely, we actually have. Yes, Tenacious D, Pick a Destiny.
Unless can you imagine if it just goes again?
Nah, they made quite a big deal of it coming on. So nah, I think it's
Jack Black's just trolling us.
Fair enough. Okay, so you have 2 weeks. If you're listening to this on the day it's released, you have 2 weeks. You have to go away and watch Tenacious D and Pick a Destiny if you haven't already, or if you just want to see it again. So let us know what you thought of Green Book. Are we wrong in our opinion on this movie? It is a bit of a divisive one, so I'm interested to hear people's thoughts.
It also deals with a lot of very sensitive subjects.
It does, yes.
I think it's a divisive movie in terms of how good it is when it comes to the other Oscar movies, but I think when you just look at it as a movie, I think the general consensus is that it's a good movie. By looking on the IMDb reviews and stuff like that.
You know what it has the tone of, actually? I was just like, we're getting sidetracked again, but just I said at one point, like, it has the soundtrack has a Randy Newman feel to it. It kind of feels like almost the feeling of a Pixar movie at times.
Yeah, I know what you mean, totally.
Yeah.
There's not that much score in it at all.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great soundtrack
amazing
stuff.
soul music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, when the music is quite poignant.
Totally. Anyway, yes, that was just another sidetrack.
I like it when soundtracks are minimalist like that. Sometimes you watch a movie and you're like, come on, man, piped in. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like we're watching a movie here, not like, I don't know, session your music. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Please let us know.
Do we announce what's next on the Oscar quest?
Oh, interesting.
We could do it. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good chat.
I know what it is.
Oscar quest, which will be in 2 months after this.
I know what it is.
I'm
very excited for it.
It is The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm very excited to see
I have seen about vaguely the first 10 minutes of this. And then I had to do something else like a wee while ago.
Guillermo del Toro's Shape of Water. I have also only seen the start of this film, and I don't know why, because I was really enjoying it and I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro, but yes, we shall get to that in 2 weeks.
I think I saw the start and then like a wee bit of like towards the end, but like not having a clue what's actually going on, and I can't even remember it by this point. So.
I'm so excited. Someone said to me that this was basically the BioShock movie that we never got. So
it's got bits of that about it for sure.
We'll see.
Have you seen it, Sean?
No.
Okay, interesting. So we've basically all not seen it.
Yes. So yes, you have 2 weeks to watch Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, and you have 2 months to watch The Shape of Water if you're not already.
Plenty of time.
Yes.
I have loads of time.
In between all that, we'll be going around our rotation between the three of us again. So yes. So let us know what you thought of Green Book. You can get in touch with us by our email, which is saltrivermovieclub@gmail.com, or you can get in touch on our Facebook, which is Salt River Pictures, or our Instagram, which is Salt River Pictures Official. Also, just follow us on all those things. Anyway, you can also find our band. If you don't know, we are on the band Salt River Shakedown. We do blues rock, classic rock, that kind of thing. And we released that single Honey a few weeks back, and it's doing very well. Thank you for people that are downloading that and listening.
Cheers!
To that.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, we are just Salt River Shakedown on pretty much everything, right? Our Instagram's just Salt River Shakedown, right?
Instagram is just Salt River Shakedown.
Yeah, cool.
We're easy to find
as well, but we don't really use Twitter. Yes. Yes. So, what's the next thing? I've already mentioned. I'm looking through my notes. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Alec for his theme tune.
That he's going to make, right?
Well, yes. Thank you for the normal theme tune, but thank you in advance for the other theme tune that you have made by now.
You're welcome. I'm sure my brain came up with something beautiful.
Yes. And yes, please remember to rate us on if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. You can leave a little review, leave us a little 5-star review, and we'll read it out. We've not got a single real one yet. All the ones there are ones that
we've made ourselves. Come on, people.
I feel like we should. Come on. I feel like we need to read them out now. Hold on.
Need some reviews.
Where are they?
Yeah, we got a comment on a YouTube video one time and then it fucking vanished, so I don't know what it said.
God damn it!
I don't know where it is.
You guys suck, and it's just gone.
That's irritating, isn't it?
I know.
Oh, no.
Where are you, one person that commented on a YouTube video? Do you watch the pod?
I just got a notification like, you got a comment on this episode of the podcast. I was like, oh my god! And
yes! It's so annoying.
Should we?
The guy probably just put a thumbs up and then went, oh shit, and deleted it.
Shall I read out the 4 reviews that we've done that are totally not by us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, so from Tickbox Music.
I like him.
He's alright, aye. He says he likes the host's voice. He has a sexy voice. That sounds nice.
I forgot what I wrote.
So I can't remember.
Made myself laugh.
We've got Monkey99, who said it's a very good podcast and he loves the theme tune so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Monkey99.
Thank you.
And then there was Not Quite Reto, because I fucking misspelled my own name.
Not Quite Reto.
Yeah, apparently the bass player is the best character. That's very nice of you to say.
Best character, not host character.
And then we've got SMRC fan number 1. Who went, wow, what a show. This podcast is an absolute belter. I love Toto the Dog so much. Joe Rogan, watch it because you might have some competition on your hands. The number 1 spot, Jake Rogan, has arrived.
Oh, quite a lengthy review from SMRC fan.
MC fan 1 must be a big fan.
He's a big fan. Yeah.
He loves
Watch
Toto
out, Joe Rogan. Yeah. So thanks for that, Sean. That was good.
That was nice.
If you're still listening after all the pish that we spoke, please remember to like us, follow us on all the things, share us with all your pals. And we'll see you very, very soon. That's about all I've got, I think. Yeah.
Any lines to finish off with?
Yeah, what movie quote do I end on? He has such a cheeky grin in this.
He does.
I had a friend, he'd been to Pittsburgh, but he called it Pittsburgh. Okay, goodbye.
Hello there. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Stay on target.
This podcast is brought to you by Salt River Pictures.